right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Dark, Season 1, Episode 8.
Ulrich is on the trail.
Yeah, and he's asking some of the right questions
He's
now.
asking some of the right questions, but also he might be about to, time travel, depending on what Helga's doing.
Oh, yeah, he definitely about
because
to.
Helga is going to the place to fix something, which also, the idea then that theoretically, because, right, you can go forwards and backwards, but you are still limited by the 33 years, then that could be something where then, if you wait, if it's the only way you can get back to a day that you've been at before or whatever, is to literally wait 33 years, which might have been literally what Helga was doing.
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
It's kind of insane, because right now, he's like, I have to stop him. We don't know who that him is. Now, It makes sense that it's Noah, because Noah is clearly seeming to be the one who's kind of the anti-Jonas at this point, where he's another person who's aware of the time travel. He's been in multiple points doing stuff that seems to be a bit shady and manipulative and pulling and pushing things.
Oh, yeah.
But Helga could also be theoretically talking about someone else, like
himself.
Like himself in the past or something.
So that'll be very interesting. Also,
because what we've learned from older Jonas is that you can muck with things.
Right.
There is no dumb what happened kind of stuff here.
Nope.
We're in dangerous
territory
here.
Yeah.
Where actions have real consequences.
Mm-hmm.
And Jonas has been doing things and potentially moving things in such a way to either set things up a certain way or course correct things so that we don't go a certain way.
And if Ulrich goes back to the past and he sees Mikkel, he will absolutely grab him.
Yeah, so it's terrifying to think about what a loose cannon like Ulrich could do if he was put into a point in the past.
Also, very important clarification, because we forgot that this is Germany. So the dates that Noah put on the wall, it was not 4 months, it was 4 days. Because
I think we said that actually in the
we did?
recording.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
it was afterwards that I kind of got the things mixed up there. But yes, Noah clearly set up something to be then noted as be here at this time or do a thing at this time, but then wrote after he was done doing what he was doing the date that it probably was at that point.
Right.
Which is fun, because what that means is that he's setting up future self or future people to then have a thing that they would then see or know or do. Because if you think about this without the context of, you only have memory theoretically of past events.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying here?
Not really, but
because if you have been to the future, you can remember things that haven't happened yet when you then go back in time.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, gotcha.
Because you're across multiple points of time.
Right. So the only way to leave messages would be in the past.
Well, right. But that's my point, is then if you leave a message in the past, depending on who goes into that bunker, you can instantly tell your future self who could have less knowledge than you in the past, because, you see what I'm saying here?
Wait.
If Noah's been to multiple points in time, writing messages down is potentially super powerful, because you could inform your past self of more things.
Yeah.
Because you could encounter yourself with less memory than you have right now.
Or put another way, the very thing that future Jonas is attempting to avoid is the thing that people could very much use to their advantage. And future Jonas even has been doing that as well. He's just been very precise or vague about it so as to cause as little collateral damage as possible. But if you have someone who's trying to do some Machiavellian control, construct the time stream to be however I want kind of thing, like Noah seems to be doing, then you would probably have fewer qualms about informing yourself of things.
Right. The same guy that basically brings, the young teen into his car to discuss business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're on to you.
Yeah, we're on to you, you little shit. So, okay, let's see what's gonna be going on here with
Ulrich?
with Ulrich and
Helga.
Helga. I always call them Heigl for some reason.
No.
But Helga. So yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Hell is empty and all the devils are here. Oh!
All right.
Oh!
Cool.
Oh, fun. Oh. Oh, shoot. We're in the 50s, aren't we?
Yep, I think so.
That bike.
Yeah.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
The clothing.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
It's an eventual construction site for like residential stuff or what have you.
Arbeiter haben diese beiden Leichen heute Morgen gefunden.
Oh, no way!
Oh.
Weird to say they're still children. Yeah. Fun.
Okay.
Fun. Okay, we're in the 50s, so
Yeah.
from 86 to 53.
What if this is actually the original time Noah's from? What if this is actually the original time Noah's from?
Original timeline what?
That Noah's from.
That Noah's from. So he's someone's grandfather or what have you.
Sure.
That's possible. But that would mean that he
That he'd be somebody in the future. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, unless he's just been hopping constantly, so...
He's somewhere he's not supposed to be. Because that whole
sure.
thing of the priest showed up, you know? Like,
Right.
As you sow, so shall you reap. Okay. Going
Oh,
back
are we
to
going to get the writer?
Yeah, the
okay.
writer and the guy that probably invents the time machine.
Yeah, what's this conversation going to be like?
Wo waren wir stehen geblieben?
Bei der Einstein-Rosenbrücke.
Oh,
Eine Passage.
yeah. Portal, yeah.
Quert, reist durch die Zeit.
No, don't tell me you lost him. No.
I mean, he's got a light, so, like... In a space as dark as this, you'd be able to see where he went.
Cool. A thread to follow in the dark in case you were without light, which is also fun because if we're connecting the 50s to this, you could potentially not have Ouroboros snake.
Oh, well, there we go. Oh yeah, although if Helga just went back in time, that noise might help lead Ulrich to the spot.
Schwarz-Weiß. Gut, böse. Alles kommt in Paaren daher. Aber das ist falsch.
Yeah, that's a way for us to separate and categorize things.
Und mal was von der Triketta gehört.
Oh, fun.
Der Knoten der Dreisamkeit.
Ohne eine dritte Dimension ist nichts vollkommen. Es gibt nicht nur ein Oben und ein...
There's depth.
Okay.
Ich glaube, dass Einstein und Rosen etwas übersehen haben.
All right, you found it.
2, sondern 3 Dimensionen miteinander. Zukunft, Gegenwart und Vergangenheit.
Oh, so maybe we only do have three points in time.
Maybe, but I think that's too simplistic. Like,
Yeah, that could just be the understanding that these people have.
well, again, they're talking about not points in time. They're talking about the past, the present, and the future. Like,
That's a good point.
yeah.
Oh no, he
Yeah,
doesn't know which way
he
to go.
went.
Oh shit.
What if Helga is going to the future?
Nah, I think he's totally going to the past, but I think Ulrich's gonna end up going to the future.
I think whichever way Ulrich goes.
No. All right, he
Helga
went
didn't
left.
go.
So I think that is the one that goes to the past.
Ooh, yeah, I think that's going to be going to the past. But
Although if it is just the 3 points in time, then it could be whether you're going.
no, because it's
to-
not the 3 points. It's 33 years. So at a later day, it's going to go back.
Weiter.
My messed up head is like, please just hit him. Like.
Du wartest hier.
I'm not even sure what she was freaking out about, because that's the kind of thing I would expect in the, oh, you're filthy, but...
Yeah.
Na, mein Junge. Was hast du denn wieder?
Ah, much better relationship with Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Du lügst nicht?
Oh. Jeez.
Du bist spät. Die Groschen für Claudia liegen auf dem Tisch.
Coins. Claudia Tiedemann?
I think so.
Claudia Tiedemann would have been like much younger at this point.
Interessant auch, dass die Uhren vollkommen zerstört sind.
Nice. So they're trying to investigate what happened to them.
Das einzig Merkwürdige. Hatte jeder um den Hals.
Oh.
The little necklace things?
Yeah.
Die Prägung stammt aus dem Jahr 1906. Lief nicht von hier. Der Junge hier hat ein südländisches Aussehen oder arabisch, würde ich sagen. Der Rothaarige, weiß ich nicht. Die Tätowierung ist merkwürdig.
Oh my gosh.
Also ich habe schon einiges Sonderbares.
Definitely takes the cake. I love the little like nods to
Okay.
Oh. A grate.
Yeah.
Dang it, I don't remember if that was in the 80s.
Maybe he's in the future. Or maybe he's in the 50s.
Right, like maybe he, hopped twice.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the place where the bunker is. Right.
Right.
Okay, cool. This is another family spot, basically.
Sure.
Pine cones again. Grenade!
Yeah.
The whole, like...
Sie schreiben über Nietzsches ewige Wiederkunft des Glaubens.
Oh my gosh.
Das habe ich schon lange nicht mehr gesehen. Es gab nur 500 Exemplare.
Really?
Oh.
Das 33 Lieder an das Fegefeuer und 33 an den Himmel.
Und es ist das Alter, in dem der Antichrist seine Herrschaft beginnt.
What? Oh, now we shift to our priest. Speaking of which.
Okay.
Was ist in ihm drin? Wo kommt das her?
Warum einer zum Mörder wird?
Ja. Wird man so geboren oder wird man zu einem gemacht?
Ah, the question of the monster, yes.
Wenn sie noch klein sind,
Ah,
Yeah.
weil sie auf die schiefe Bahn geraten.
okay.
Warum wird einer zum Mörder?
I'm not gonna say it, but, we're in the 50s right now. 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Your dad, probably.
Guck mal, ob was auf Tasche hat.
Lass mich in Ruhe!
Schrei doch, hört dich keiner.
Dang.
Mal nicht in die Hose. Deinem alten Herrn quillt der Zaster doch aus Norden.
I'm gonna piss on him. Yeah. Oh! Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Ist okay. Du musst dich wehren. Sonst hören die nie auf.
Oh.
Doch viel stärker als ich.
Dann beißt du beim nächsten Mal eben einfach zu.
Stellen Sie sich vor, Sie stehen in einem unendlich großen, dunklen Raum und
Okay.
leuchten nach links.
Oh.
Sollte auf ewig in die gleiche Richtung weiterlaufen. Es gibt keinen Grund anzunehmen, warum er von rechts wieder auf uns zurücktreffen soll. Aber ein Wurmloch verändert die Topologie der Raumzeit.
Yeah, bends the paper. The car, dude. The car. Look at that car. Look at that car.
Guten Tag. Können Sie mir helfen?
Oh, is this Claudia?
Wir sind nicht von hier. Ich suche die Killinger Straße 61.
Da wohne ich. Das ist die Straße runter und dann rechts.
Sind Sie Herr Egon Tiedemann?
Nein.
Wie unhöflich. Mein Name ist Agnes Nielsen.
Oh.
Und ist mein Sohn Tronte.
Oh my God. That's wild.
Sag dem netten Mann guten Tag.
Yeah. And he's probably seen like a picture.
Stellen Sie sich vor, Sie würden in die Vergangenheit reisen und dort auf Ihren Vater treffen, noch ehe er Sie gezeugt hat.
Entschuldigen Sie die Frage.
What year is it?
Aber welche?
Würden Sie mit dieser Begegnung bereits etwas verändern? Und ist überhaupt irgendwas veränderbar?
Who knows, right? That's the question.
Ist die Zeit ein Biest, das auf ewig besteht und nicht bezwungen werden kann?
Run.
Yep.
Sein Handeln etwas verändert. Mein Leben lang habe ich geträumt, durch die Zeit zu reisen, zu sehen, was war und was irgendwann sein wird.
But the fact that you're having this conversation means that you can change.
Well, that's where there's probably limits to what.
Kann ich Ihnen behilflich sein?
Oh my gosh.
Suchen Sie eine Uhr?
Sind Sie Hagi Tannhaus?
Oh, this is younger.
Tannhaus?
Showing him a picture of himself in the future. That's crazy.
Welches Jahr haben wir? Welches Jahr?
1953.
Yeah, bro is a wrecking ball running around
Yeah.
in the 50s.
If you really wanted to be a wrecking ball, show him the year that it was printed.
Schreiben, es könnte der Zeitabstand zwischen den Ebenen eines tertiären Wurmlochs sein.
Das ist nur eine Theorie. Aber es könnte des Pudels Kern sein.
Why? Why would it be the crux of the matter? I love these little drippies of this conversation. I
Yeah,
just want it to be going.
Right.
Ist spät. Ich hatte schon mal gesagt, dass du pünktlich sein sollst. Claudia, ich habe das Geld zu Hause vergessen. Ich bring's dann später vorbei. Komm rein.
Oh, bro probably smells like piss and.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so she's tutoring him, basically.
Yeah. And it's to have a kid do it so that, you know, it's more, like, relatable and...
Yeah.
Cool seeing this house, though, like, you know.
Yeah.
Ja, das ist meine Tochter Claudia. Claudia Sackerlo.
Right, and they're going to look to be purchasing the place.
Wollen wir uns dann oben mal umschauen, ja? Claudia, zeigst du dem Jungen hier die Umgebung, ja?
Oh.
Okay.
It's fun seeing these families kind of mingle and stuff before, like, things all coalesce and stuff.
Hallo.
Hallo Ines, hallo Jana.
Ich soll die so abholen. Oh. Ist sie fertig?
Wow! Ah!
Karnwald.
Oh, yeah, he's like, wait, that last name.
Uh-huh.
Die schnurrt wieder wie ein Kätzchen.
Haben Sie schon gehört, was die Polizei heute Morgen gefunden
hat? Oh my gosh, and she's saying this in front of him.
Zum Lehrerzimmer gehört.
Oh, and it's spreading like crazy already.
Man hat auf der Baustelle vom Doppler 2 Leichen gefunden.
Aha.
Für Experimenten.
Was hast du gerade eben gesagt?
Über die Außerirdischen?
Nein, über die...
No, yeah.
Morgen 2 tote Junge gefunden.
Yeah.
Who was that? Oh, and he leaves his
Are
jacket
you
behind.
kidding me, dude?
Oh my god!
No! He's never getting that back.
Well, never getting it back, but what is the dude gonna find in it? Is he
Right.
gonna find the book?
Verstandes, der Sachlichkeit, der Dominanz des Menschen über die Natur.
Gotcha. So,
wait, is that?
Yeah, it might be, yeah. Because he's trying to, like, sell them on this idea of nuclear energy.
Das erste deutsche Atomkraftwerk.
The first, too.
So soll das gut sein. Sie sollten sich eher fragen, wer etwas gegen den Bau des Kernkraftwerks
Yeah, yeah.
Das Kernkraftwerk?
A time traveler that doesn't want this place being built.
Zufällig, einen Tag vorher, 2 Kinderleichen auf...
Right, the timing is too perfect.
Is this what Helga did?
Wer hat die Ihrer Meinung nach dorthin gebracht?
Die Kohlebetreiber.
Yes, our energy competitors.
Eine Liste mit den Namen der Kohlebetreiber zukommen lassen. Sie werden sehen, das Ganze ist ein Komplott.
Well, it is.
Yeah, I think this is...
That's the Helga's dad. Not,
yeah,
not
exactly.
Noah.
The guy who's running it and hands it over to Claudia.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the caves.
Just right there.
These children yearn for the mines.
Zurück nach Hause. Und ich krieg noch die Mark von dir. Komm, wir gehen weiter. Dann sind wir los.
Ouch.
Dang. Oh my gosh.
Komm hierher, Gretchen. Komm.
Damn.
Die aus hatte einer davon braune Haare, ungefähr 11 Jahre alt.
Wieso wollen Sie das wissen?
Mein Sohn ist verschwunden. Alles, was ich wissen will, ist, dass Sie mir sagen, ob eins der toten Kinder...
Pretty reasonable ask. you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Ist 11 Jahre alt, hat braune Haare, blaue Augen, ist ungefähr so groß. Ich habe ein Foto. Scheiße, mal die Jacke.
Der ist doch besoffen.
Yeah. Stop.
Clever Marker wie. Bernd ist Helges Vater.
Richtig? Halt! Warten Sie! Hey!
Yeah, wait. He's like, from the nuclear power plant.
It hasn't been built.
Sind wir überhaupt frei in dem, was wir tun?
Yeah.
Oder entsteht alles auf ewig neu in einem immer wiederkehrenden Kreislauf? Und wir folgen den Gesetzen der Natur und sind nichts als Sklaven von Raum und Zeit.
Which is fun because if Jonas is asking this question, the point that he made to his younger self about, like, don't do that, you know, might be because he doesn't know. Like, he's scared of doing, like, something like that. Yeah, bro is, like, scratching his head. He's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
There's something going on.
And this dude looks really young for his age. If, you know, the Aegon we see in 86 is just 33 years older.
It depends, because remember, you know, you could be 35, right? Right there.
Yeah, in
in
which
be
case he'd be
68 at
yeah.
that. So no, it tracks. It tracks.
Mann, mein Ehemann. Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Oh.
Okay.
Sagt, mein Mann ist Polizist. Neugierde liegt im Blut. Meine Großmutter kommt aus Winden. Sie hat viel von diesem Ort geschwärmt.
Okay.
Darf ich fragen, wie Ihre Großmutter hieß?
Oh.
Gretchen ist weg. Im Wald. Sie war da und dann war sie plötzlich
Das war
weg.
ganz langsam und von vorn. Was ist denn passiert?
Die Zeitschleife hat erheblichen Einfluss auf das Kausalitätsprinzip.
Okay. Right.
Und solange ein Wurmloch existiert, besteht eine geschlossene Zeitschleife. In ihr bedingt sich alles miteinander. Nicht nur die Vergangenheit beeinflusst die Zukunft, sondern auch die Zukunft.
Acausal
Right.
stuff.
Das ist wie bei der Frage nach dem Huhn und dem Ei.
Oh, right, yeah, because it would just keep... Yeah, okay.
Wir können nicht mehr sagen, welches von beiden zuerst da war. Alles
Yeah, that means the butterfly effect is so much harder to, like, plan around.
Yeah, you would have.
Because literally anything, anywhere, anytime.
Du bist Helge Doppler, oder?
Ja, wieso?
I'd love to talk to you.
Haben Sie den Mann gefunden, den Sie suchen?
Ja.
Ja.
Das ist nur deine Kiste.
Oh.
Ob du die tot gemacht hast?
Die fallen einfach so vom Himmel. Plumpsen einfach so runter.
Ja.
Ich sammle sie nur.
Like.
Sie sind so schön, wenn sie tot sind.
Oh no. Ulrich, no!
Mein Sohn. Ich jetzt aber später. Aber ich kann das ändern.
Those hands. How does someone become a murderer?
Wenn es dich nicht mehr gibt, wird das alles nicht passieren.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he told him. You bite.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Run and hide in the bunker. Yep. He knows where. He knows where a good hiding spot is. Ulrich, no, he's gonna try to kill him!
Oh yeah. No.
But like,
I know.
the only way he's not going to kill him is if Ulrich dies here.
Yeah.
Because somehow...
And he might.
Well, that's
Noah
the thing.
could kill him, you know, right?
Or unless he maybe thinks he's killed him and then he, like, freaks out on what he does and then, like, runs off, you know?
Well, no, but this could also explain the whole, what happened to you and all that,
Well,
right?
yeah, we know that he gets attacked at some point, and this is
but
it.
this, yeah. Fuck.
Oh, no! Oh!
Fuck.
So he survives this. Jesus! No wonder he
Holy shit.
brain damage and stuff, like... So he throws him in there to hide him.
Oh my god.
Hier ist kein Hund. Sonst noch was?
Nein. Vielen Dank. Und entschuldigen Sie bitte die Störung. Sollte der Hund doch noch auftauchen... Guten Tag.
I'm shook right now, but my brain is still trying to, like... Yeah, his box is there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Holy shit.
Oh god, this town, these people.
Unser aller Leben.
Ah, right. From the first episode.
Yep.
Unendlicher Tanz.
Uh-huh. Oh.
What?
Cool, so this was older, she was on the wall.
Dass Sie eigentlich wegen etwas anderem hier sind.
Was, wenn ich Ihnen sage, dass alles, was in Ihrem Buch steht, wahr
Here it is.
Es gibt ein solches Loch. Hier in Winden. Ich komme aus der Zukunft.
Aha.
Wo haben Sie das her?
Er ist kaputt.
Oh.
Doch Ihre Initialen. Sie haben ihn gebaut.
Der Apparat. kann die Reise durch Raum und Zeit ermöglichen. Der kann ein Wurmloch erzeugen.
Er öffnet ein Portal, durch das man 33 Jahre in die Vergangenheit und 33 Jahre in die Zukunft reisen kann. Ja. Dann gab es einen Störfall im Kernkraftwerk und dabei ist Energie freigesetzt worden. Und der Apparat ist jedenfalls in der Lage, den gleichen Prozess zu wiederholen.
Oh.
Nein, ich will das Bestehende zerstören.
Gotcha.
Ich möchte, dass Sie jetzt gehen.
Diese Stadt ist wie ein Geschwür.
Oh. Damn.
I'm leaving that here, though.
Ich habe die Zukunft gesehen.
Yeah.
Ich weiß, was passieren wird.
Yeah.
Ich muss das alles wieder gerade biegen. Und Sie müssen mir dabei helfen.
I have to set things right again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
again.
because it's been altered by someone.
Uh-huh. Bro brings out his project. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh my god.
And there's the proof.
No
That's where
way.
it starts.
And that's what kicked it off.
Yep. So what's he gonna find in there? A cell phone?
Like a
Book?
tag just from the time that it's
Sure.
made. It's like, that's a really different kind of coat.
Yeah.
I'll just keep it up for him. I'm a nice person. He'll come back for it. But I'm curious.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh my
Holy
god!
shit.
No
Holy
way!
Shit.
You dropped your smartphone in the 50s? Talk. Tick. Tock.
That was so, and I mean this with every sense of the pun, dark. Holy shit.
The 50s cast was so fun.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Wow.
No, I can come up for air and breathe. But
So-
now I'm panicking here. Ulrich is the attacker
Yeah.
of Helga.
Mm-hmm.
Helga did not necessarily go to the past.
Well, or he went to the past, but just not the 50 years ago.
Oh,
Or
right.
60 years
Sorry.
ago.
He didn't go to the 50s.
Right.
So he either went to 86
Or he went somewhere else.
or he went forward.
Yeah, I think he went to 86 though, because that's
86.
that's the I can stop this, right?
Okay,
You know,
cool. So then
if
if
he was going to stop himself from doing the things that he did, which is then also very ironic.
right.
Because
Right.
then the person who's then going to stop him when he's going to also stop him ends up going back and maybe doing the thing that guarantees that he'll do it in the first place. I really like
Which is just scary because we could have just a dead Helga somewhere in the 80s or something like that. Like,
well, no, because the thing is,
meaning like
because
old
Helga went back. Right. That's why if you go back to kill somebody, one, you bring a gun, or you fully make sure. You know.
I mean, bro,
I know.
beat the kid's head in.
No, I know.
No
That
wonder
was-
his scar is so mangled and he's so
yeah. Like,
oh my god,
yeah, that
that'd
was
be traumatizing.
As far as okay, there was a lot of really cool heady stuff that the episode went into about the idea of the mechanics of time travel and
Right.
the whole conversation, and
we have
the
conversation that's sprinkled throughout. Yeah.
Yep.
Love
that. That was absolutely incredible, and I feel like that could very easily take up the lion's share of the discussion. But there were a lot of really important moments that happened here.
True.
And of course, the big one to talk about is
the attack.
Yeah. Ulrich going back, and I love how.
Yeah, the episode seeded it so well.
The episode set it up brilliantly, but also this is something that we've been getting set up from the earlier episodes as we see Ulrich getting more and more desperate, getting scary, you know, all of these things. And the idea that basically in this show of time travel, we have certain presuppositions about who the antagonists are,
right?
Because of who we get introduced to first in the show.
Yes.
And so if they get introduced in an empathetic light, in a sympathetic light in the show, then we generally are going to think, okay, these are people that we're rooting for.
Right.
But the idea of someone going down a dark path, well, because of time travel, that could happen to anyone. Because then they go and do crazy shit, right?
Right.
So I love that whole, the choice to have that happen. The idea that I was worried about Ulrich going back to the time where Mikhail was. And literally, if that is what had happened, there would have been other issues.
Yes.
But that, it would have been a completely different kind of messing everything up.
Right. And in some ways, what I really like about this is that he went back 66 years. Right? So why did he go back 66 years? I'm not going to put any theories into this here. But a way to think about it this way is this might have been, in some ways, our first instance of a fixed point in time. Meaning, he should have killed the boy, right? But he didn't. He went back. This had already happened in 2019. We'd already seen the evidence and the scar all throughout this here.
Yes.
So, in the sense of linearity, fuck linearity. It's all completely gone here. So the conversation of, can I change things, is actually very seriously up in the air.
Well,
you might not necessarily be able to, because this is something that had already happened at that point.
Okay, maybe, but on the other hand, the person is, at that time having a conversation with someone in the past. That is fundamentally changing the past, because otherwise the person wouldn't be able to interact with you for the conversation.
No, totally. But the thing is that Helga might not do anything specifically because of being talked to by this guy.
Sure, yeah.
Right. We can have things that have negligible impact. Like, for instance, Ulrich encountered
his parents.
His parent, his mother.
Well, both of them at different times, but yeah. Because at first it was his dad. Right?
Tronte.
And then later it's his mom.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Just crazy.
Yeah.
So then, that doesn't change anything. You can have something like the coat being left behind.
Right, where suddenly this dude gets a cell phone, a smartphone from the future in the 50s.
Right. But that's where the conversation is relevant, is that this is a chicken and the egg scenario. There is no determining which came first in the strictest sense.
And I guess this is then shifting towards the whole conversation that future Jonas has with the author.
Right.
But that's something that I'd never really thought about, but that does make total sense in that the whole butterfly effect, once you have a closed time loop, you have that no matter what point in time you're having things change. Now, it's more guaranteed to have things change when you're doing it in the past, because the information doesn't need to basically cause a ripple effect that then gets its way into the wormhole and then goes back into the past. But the idea that, you talk to someone in the present or in the future, and they end up, as a result of that, maybe going back in time when they wouldn't have, that's going to have a huge effect.
Right, but it's more the question of...
Which then would feed into itself. And,
right. So this is where it becomes the monstrous beast, and there's no getting away from it, there's no avoiding it, there's no maybe changing it.
Sure.
And I think that's what's the episode kind of posits, is as you sow, so shall you reap, is so in that sense, Ulrich sees himself as justified in killing this kid, or attempting to kill this kid. But in that respect, you could say that this moment of violence, this moment of senseless violence, ended up setting him along the path so that he would then end up being put into a position where he would then be maybe impressionable or, manipulated in such a way to probably then go and do the kidnappings. Because we very clearly see him in 86 not wanting to do this.
Well, and
he does not look like he's some awful monster or what
Which
have
the
you.
whole idea that Ulrich is the one who attacked him in the past, then Ulrich is the one who wakes him, in the hospital. Where's my son? Where's my son? That's fantastic.
Right.
But also, given that he is the son of Bernd Doppler, Doppler ends up being the one in control of the power plant and creating it.
Yes.
If you were to have someone that says that they're a time traveler, you're not really gonna believe them, right?
No.
But if they say they're a time traveler and then try to murder a child, I don't know about you, but I'd probably then start taking it that little bit more seriously because they did something that wild and crazy.
Well, no one's gonna know who did it.
Sure.
No one's gonna know who did it.
Sure. No, that's a good point.
Like,
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Like,
yeah.
Poor kid's probably gonna have so much like terror and fear around this thing here, and with the lack of potential like mental health related kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah. He's not.
No. Yeah. He's gonna have brain damage. He's probably gonna be invalid for like years at this point. Like,
yeah.
Like this irrevocably like changed his life.
Yep.
But what's probably so dark about this is it very clearly seems like as you sow, so shall you reap. We've got a potential loop here.
Oh yeah, and then this is the person that Mikhail didn't get kidnapped, but this is the person that kidnaps your brother.
This is the person that ends up going and doing the things in a paracausal, acausal and causal loop of potential things, like going and then doing this, because I don't think if this kid had a normal life. Now, there was some sussery with the way in which he responded positively to his
dad,
father,
but then the mom is like,
but the mom is like
terror.
terrified.
Oh yeah.
That's foreshadowing for future stuff and things like that, which we'll probably eventually get into. But yeah,
and that also makes things very interesting, given that we went back there. The writing was already on the wall from Noah going there and cleaning up a bunch of blood. But then, we always figured that was because of Helga's injury, and that that was him basically cleaning up the mess. But that happened before Helga got injured and then got tossed in there to die. So what's the deal there?
When did we see the numbers on the wall?
So when Helga went down there
as a kid,
I think it was when he was just like playing. He sees the I believe he sees the chalk writing on the wall.
Well, again, the chalk writing on the wall could have been put there at a different point. But were both instances of chalk on the wall?
I believe
there?
so.
No, I don't see any of them there.
No, he Noah put it in more of like a cubby area.
I thought it was supposed to be right here.
Well, just let it play through and we'll see. But
okay.
Yeah, so he's doing all the playing soldier and stuff. That's great. Yeah.
Oh. Right.
And then he looks and he sees it.
Oh, okay.
So that's wild because also, okay, that's fun. That could have basically just been put there like the previous night.
Yes.
Because the things that because the wormhole is set to 33-year, offsets, right? But it's also itself moving through time, but,
right?
So it's a thing that is moving through time, but it is also distorting time in that constant way. That's why it ends up basically being a set, 33 years, all that stuff.
Well, it's not a set 33 years because people are at any point. So we have people that are traveling through time at different points along it. So it's always there.
No, right.
But it's the people that are choosing to use it. Then it can't drop you at a point 12 years or what have you.
No, right. That's what I was saying.
Okay,
maybe in a more complicated way, because it's traveling. It itself is traveling through time because it exists, right? So the wormhole is traveling through time at a fixed rate, but it is also adjusting things, and so it's adjusting things by the fixed rate, not to fixed points.
I don't understand how you can say that confidently. Maybe you're speaking too complexly for me. So
okay.
use simpler terms.
So, the wormhole is a closed loop, like the author was saying, right?
A closed loop in that
it is causing a change in time, but you could theoretically keep going through it forever.
Right.
There's no point where it breaks or whatever.
Right.
It's a one-way trip.
It's a figure 8 with it in the fulcrum.
Basically.
Yeah.
And because people will basically be going into it at different points in time because they're also moving through time. That's what I mean by the wormhole is also moving through time. The wormhole isn't constantly setting you to like a specific day, time, etc. Right? And so that's how this stuff can happen. But then that means
we already knew that. Yeah.
Okay. But because of that, that means that things that we see in the show, even if they're not in the same timeline as other things that are happening or whatever.
Well, no, they are. We
okay, the same timeline, not same point in time.
Yeah.
Then that means that the time that we see things in the show is going to correspond probably to like the general date and things like that. So the fact that we saw Noah doing the thing with the cleaning up and writing the date in the previous episode at the same time that Ulrich was then following Helga into the wormhole, that means that would be we can assume that the show is presenting that as basically being the same time in a different point in time, right? With a different 33-year offset.
It's the same day, but it's just
right,
33
exactly.
years off.
Yeah.
I don't think that's I don't think that's a stretch, but I think that the reason why you write those kinds of things is for a future self to basically know when to travel back to.
Sure. Or just having a record or whatever. But what I'm saying why that's interesting for us, the audience, is that then we can look at things and we can know, all right, the 9th of November of 1953, he cleaned up all the stuff. All right, cool. That corresponded to Ulrich following Helga through the wormhole. Mm-hmm. But the 5th of November, 1953, what does that correspond to? That's a thing that we could match up with the days in the present.
Yeah.
To then look and see what was happening around that time.
Well, I believe, I'll go back and check in episode 1 here, but I want to say the original stuff was November 5th.
It might have been.
I want to say that's when.
Because there haven't been a lot of days that have passed in this show.
You mean in terms of when they follow a specific point in time?
November 4th.
November 4th, right. So the night transitioning into midnight. So it would have been, around basically the 5th of November, around midnight, basically.
That would have been the time when...
That would have been the time
when Mikhail disappeared.
Right. Yeah. So having this point in the 50s be a spot that you could basically launch from or...
At the same time that this was happening, at the same time, Noah was doing something in the 50s.
Right. Yeah. Well, because Noah, at the very least, is set up in the 80s with potentially springing backwards and forwards.
Right.
Right now, that's 100% confirmed. It's just the thing of whether or not when he's doing the cleanup, if that has anything to do with Helga or not. And I don't think it...
Well, and we can know that it, in fact, didn't because... the Helga stuff was later. It was, and hence Helga seeing the writing being important. And
Yeah. No,
so I
get that.
There was some other bloody mess that Noah had to clean up down there that was before this.
Right.
And it would have been something that would have been caused, if it was by a time travel thing, it would have been caused by things that happened previously to now in the show.
Yes, but I don't know what that says.
That's more information that we have. We're basically things that were general nebulous mysteries are a bit more clear. Nebulous mysteries.
Okay. I wanted to bring up the two kids.
Yep.
So we very clearly have not Mads in these two kids' bodies here found at the construction site, which is fun because Mads had only been dead for a certain amount of time, according to the coroner's report, which means that Mads being moved to 2019 is a part of something where bodies were either buried here,
sure,
you know, underneath the construction site for the inevitable power plant, which is fun because that again feels like sabotage here against power plant people.
Okay.
But this is very clearly
that is Mads, I think.
No. This is the redhead. They said that one of them was a redhead. They said no, that neither of them were that. They had. They said there was a kid that looked foreign. And that's the dark-haired kid.
Oh, so that's Eric.
This is Eric, right? This is the other kid.
Cool, that went missing at the beginning.
That went missing at the very beginning. Right.
I like it.
And so he was deposited basically here in the past.
Sure.
But what's fun here is that Mads isn't here, whereas another
kid
is. So either it's random, you know, for the purpose of like, oh, we're just getting rid of evidence and throwing them into different areas and points in time and hiding them. But this to me is the exact opposite of how Mads was kind of set up. Mads was above ground, very easily found in the point close to when all the, you know, time shenanigans stuff is at least starting from our perspective. But this here feels like if you were to find this, you would have had to begin construction on the nuclear power plant. Nothing else would have found these kids.
Right.
But they also look like they were here for a very short amount of time.
Right.
Like they do not look like they've been here for like, you know, years and stuff with regards to decay.
So, theory on who the other kid is. And this might be something worth checking out another episode for. But Elizabeth Doppler's friend that got kidnapped.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I was going to say. It's the kid that...
He was the deaf kid.
Deaf kid, yeah. So, him being here at the same point is what? Direct evidence of time travel.
Right.
But two, being put here feels like...
It feels weird.
It feels weird because...
As far as we knew, they were people that were being taken by Noah, which we would think is connected in some way to nuclear power plant stuff.
But maybe it's not.
But it might not be.
Yeah.
Because this is them being deposited here as the keep the nuclear power plant from being made. Now...
I mean, again, that's my theory.
Sure.
But again, this is so deep and underground that
because
finding these kids feels like...
There's the part of me that's like, okay, if you wanted to basically hide a body, then hiding it via time travel, that's a great way to do it.
Great way to do it.
Right? But you wouldn't put it here.
No.
You'd bury it literally anywhere else.
Right. So these kids were supposed to be found, basically.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're together is just odd.
Yeah. Well,
because if you were trying to sabotage, like, the nuclear power plant or what have you, one kid would be enough. Like,
yeah,
you wouldn't need two.
Well, and that's where I feel like, well, and also, you could put it at a different point in time to do an additional sabotage. What's more,
right.
What's more impactful? Two kids or one kid twice? You know?
Right. Yeah.
Now, with the time travel stuff, maybe that wouldn't work as easily, right? Because, you know, fixed 33-year increments and, you know, all that stuff.
You have to be efficient.
Right. But so that's... Yeah, that whole thing is odd. But then also something that might be unrelated to this. But we had future Jonas bring up the idea or bring up his motivation.
Oh, right.
That he's trying to stop the time travel from being possible anymore.
Yes.
He's trying to destroy the wormhole. Okay. The fact that device is also the thing that helps repeat the thing or whatever, that's curious. Because the idea that this dude ended up making, to an extent, a time machine from a smartphone being left behind is wild, even if it's just tapping into the existing wormhole. But we currently have two time travelers battling in Noah and future Jonas, right? If you're a time traveler, probably one of the big things that you'd want to do, especially after you do your time muckery, is then end the time travel so that way all the stuff
you can collapse things into a...
Yeah, so that way no one can overwrite what you did. No one can continue to muck with it, and then the stuff that you did is now just fixed.
But if you're trying to destroy the wormhole's existence in its entirety, that's not fixing things in a point of time. That's potentially like, I'm trying to destroy a timeline. Like, I'm basically saying, this was fucked. This all went wrong. This is all horribly bad. Everything before this wormhole everything after this wormhole's discovery or existence or what have you, gone. Well, and that's like saying I want to destroy this universe.
Well, like, and the thing that is funky to me about this is that one that has implications about what Jonas knows about the future, and that he's already working on a scuffed timeline, basically, right? Hence him needing to fix it, and I'm just going to make it so that none of it happened. And so if he's the one who did this, how he got the bodies, okay, maybe he has time knowledge or whatever, and he dug them up from where they were actually, hidden or something.
Right.
And then he does this. Okay, cool. But once you do something as big as make it so the power plant never was created, sure, that's going to be a big change, but that might also be so big that like none of your knowledge of the other futures or whatever is really relevant anymore because you just did such a big fix.
Or again, we're all assuming that things can be changed. Obviously things can be changed, but would you be able to at any point then know what was changed versus what has like...
Yeah, what's been basically backwashed through the cycle so many times.
Right, and that's why I'm saying this whole town is fucked. It's not a thing of whether or not you can change things at this point. There's so many people that know about time travel at this point. And we almost did a kind of a funny here. This is maybe something that you're not supposed to read into this way, but this is something that I found funny. Was just how fast everybody heard about the kids.
Oh, sure.
I just wanted to bring that up as like we're in the small town. Did you forget? The small town, which means that
rumor
if you have
mill
a secret,
is real quick.
Right, the rumor mill is fast. And this is in the 50s, before texting is invented.
Before
we have really free, easy communication. And
rumor mills have always broken the rules of conservation of mass and energy.
They themselves are time travelers.
They themselves are time loops and stuff. Don't question how grandmas get that shit around.
Don't question it. Yeah, the second you leave the room. So I just wanted to bring that up in that at this point, which is again pointless, we can assume everybody potentially knows about time travel at some point in time.
Sure.
We're literally showed Claudia in her old age looking like an apocalypse like survivor hiding out in the bunker and everything, and is like...
And it looks like it's also potentially the same bunker, which is... But then it couldn't be because we also had Peter and Trant going to that bunker.
Well, I will say, there's something shenaniganery going on with those two families.
Oh yeah,
Doppler and Tiedemann. There's some bullshit in the water. I can feel it in my nuggets. Like there's something really fucky.
But that's not even Doppler Tiedemann. That's Doppler Nielsen. Because it's Peter Doppler and Trunten Nielsen. Which we had the
No. I know that they're meeting in the thing there. I'm talking about the...
Oh yeah, the fact that the big mansion is now the hotel.
Right. The mansion is now the hotel. And that
with ownership of the power plant, which, hey, from a finances standpoint, that does make sense, right? You have this giant-ass mansion. Another family takes over the big money-producing thing in town. Yeah, Helga isn't exactly going to need or maybe even want that mansion.
Or maybe even be capable of taking anything because he gets attacked and it ruins his childhood and everything. And so...
Oh, yeah, and that is definitely a possible explanation for why it ends up going to Claudia. The whole no nepotism happening. That's weird. Even though, yes, it was established that she's the really smart one that's helping him with his studies and everything. But yeah, an event like this, that would definitely throw off his whole life to the point where, yeah, him being a security guard or whatever might be the best he can manage because he didn't go through school because it took him 6 years to recover from this or something,
Yeah.
Physically, mentally, whatever. Yeah. Shit's wild.
Shit's wild. But basically, the conversation now, I think we've there's a couple other things in the episode we could cover before we go into the conversation that
I think the other thing to bring up would be Agnes Nielsen's introduction. Because she's Tranta's mom. Okay. Yeah. All right, cool. But that, looking at the app, when you see how far down the family tree has an effect on things, especially with recursion through Mikkel and stuff.
Yeah.
Then if you see someone who shows up at
out of
the blue in a new introduction of someone at the top of a family tree,
right?
That then gets more and more potentially sus, not necessarily sus.
Yes.
Because if you're dealing with time travel things and all that, then the main way that you set up yourself is by setting up your ancestors and your family.
Right.
So then the fact that this person comes in and they're definitely setting up there's going to be an affair with Egon
and
right. Egon and Agnes. Okay, yeah, and so that's why he's by himself and all
and they had that very clear. This is almost like a TV stinger kind of thing. When a character is about to say something that seems like it's just, oh, I was asked a question. Right. Why was I asked this question? Well, because a TV writer was like, this is a good point to have a conversation question.
Well, because what was it? Her grandmother.
Yeah, my grandmother lived in Vinden.
Right,
and then it's like, why did you cut that off?
Yeah.
So you wrote a line intentionally to have it be cut off by the kids coming in and being like, where's my dog or what have you?
Right.
And it's like, no, that's important. And that's an answer to something. That's something that's going to be set up for later.
And to the show's credit, it's double dipping with that because it is also establishing Egon's basically desire, like very quickly being like, oh, I want to talk to you a bunch. I'm giving you all this focus and attention, right, to set up the whole affair thing that's going to happen, right? But yeah, on top of that, it's the we're going even further back into the genesis of things, and we had that picture in the hospital or whatever. So this is not just
we're going into the 1800s. Is basically what I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
is that we're going 66 years before the 53. So that would be to 1920 to then 1887.
Something like that.
Yeah, 1887.
Because who's to say if you're able to
1870.
If you're able to replicate the power thing that happens, which that is interesting, that effectively the wormhole might have started when the whole thing happened and Mikkel disappeared. Okay, and so maybe there was experimentation up until then. That's when it happened, and then that was the point where then people from the future start showing up because it's now this thing happens. Then it's been there for a long time or whatever. You know?
And the whole beginning is the end of the end of the beginning.
Right. But it still did kind of start there. But who's to say that when you go to try and destroy this wormhole, that it doesn't actually end up just creating more openings in the wormhole?
Well, again, openings are irrelevant, right? Because
openings in the if it currently is just doing if it really is just 3 points in time right now, right, that are still moving through time and the effect of how people would move through it because they're going through time, but it's the 33-year offsets and there's 3 of them. If that is the case right now, which we get the feeling that it won't be in eventually, but currently that's all people have been doing.
Well, right, but we had Ulrich going to the 50s and just skipping 86.
Right, which is really weird because I'm pretty sure that when Jonas went back in time and he went through the thing, he also went left. If you're in a maze, hug the left side. But he only went back 33 years. And so, what I would think that would happen if it was there was the idea that we had that it would be 33 years in the past for left, 33 years in the future for right.
Yeah.
But if it's something where it's actually 3 fixed sort of points, then it's just, all right, which one do you go to? Do you go to, the 53 or 86 or, 2019? But if he came in here and went left and he didn't go to 86, that's weird.
Yeah, and I'm throwing out there the thing of that whole theory that it has to be 3 is bullshit. No.
See, the real thing
I think we're in. There's been many points of 33-year jumps, and the idea that Ulrich, who has no knowledge of what he's doing, no, like maybe he has like a mental psychic focus of like, I was wanting to find Helga, so I found Helga, but no,
way back.
There's no reason as to why he would have gone to the 50s as opposed to 86, and unless we're dealing in like things are meant to go a certain way. We have to have things go a certain way because he's the attacker.
Yep.
It's already happened. He needs to go and attack.
But this is where Ulrich, I'm gonna grade you a little bit on your going back in time to kill a kid.
Oh, we already give him an F just immediately.
No.
He's a horrible time traveler.
Yeah.
We know already he left a trail of mess everywhere he went.
But like you realize that time travel is happening. Okay, all right, awesome. This is what we wanted from an adult going back in time. You decide
comics though.
You decide you're gonna do something about it. Okay. You don't need to do it like right now, though. You could do it literally whenever. You don't go back to figure out exactly how this thing works because you know it happened when you went through this thing.
I don't know why you're wasting your breath talking about how you can grade him on this. Everyone in this story is going to be bad at time travel. No one should be good at time travel, Jacob. No. If you do, you're a little bit off here.
No, because if you find out that that's actually what happened, first thing you do is you think and you're like, holy shit, is this actually what's going on?
No, you're losing your mind. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're panicking because you might never be able to go back.
Like you went back in time to kill a kid and you failed to kill the kid. That's all I'm saying. Like that. Wow. Like
great, nice bit. Well done. Okay. The thing of him going back and leaving a mess, yes. But is there anything in the episode of like, before we can go into the conversation, I really want to talk about the conversation.
I think we can basically go into the conversation.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What is going on here? If he's going back here and talking to H.G. Whatever.
H.G. Wells.
Not H.G. Wells, exactly.
Yeah.
About how, okay, this is real. You make this. I need you to fix this so that I can destroy the wormhole.
Yep.
Okay. So he tells his younger self, don't change things. Don't fuck with things. Is he trying to ensure his own just existence?
Yes.
Because if he wanted to just test around and see, like, can I really change things? You would just go and observe 2 points, past and present. You'd hop back and forth, right?
But you're still losing time on it because of the whole,
Who cares? You put the change in the past. It's easy.
Sure.
Yeah. It's literally chalk writing on the thing there. You go back and you erase it. You go forward. You check. Is it gone or what have you? Like.
Oh, yeah, and you wouldn't even need to go far, because you could just leave it outside the cave, and you just do the thing, go back out of the cave. All right, cool. The thing's, still buried here or whatever, right? Yeah, you could do all sorts of stuff. So, to say nothing of the whole having a conversation with someone in the past.
Right. So, the issue then is, like, what, memory? Just because you wouldn't have the knowledge yet of having done it, but you would if it was actually a true paracausal loop, because you would have already done it.
Here's a thing that I want to kind of bring up a little bit. Eventually in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, they just get to the point of remember to steal your dad's car keys or remember a trash can, right? And the trash can falls on their head.
Yes.
The idea being that if you can time travel however you want, you just need to figure it out at some point in some universe, right? And
I mean, it's all far a single timeline.
And it all works perfectly.
No parallel universes yet.
But we don't have parallel universes, and you don't have full control over how you travel through time because it's on the 33-year increment.
Right.
That being said, if you are traveling through time premeditated, you don't really have an excuse for failing in the same way that you would if you're a crazy dad who's like, oh my God, where's my son, and all that stuff, right?
So Jonas has failed. Many times.
Well, did he?
No. I think either we're at the very beginning of his
Sure.
Okay.
But specifically in the thing that we saw in this episode, he went back in time. He goes and explains to this guy, "Hey, I need you to help me with time travel stuff, right?
Yeah.
I'm from the future. If you're planning on proving to someone that you're from the future, you're going to succeed, right? Like
you just might not get what you want out of it.
Exactly, because they're still a person.
And he did convince him.
Well,
he did convince him.
No, right. But I want to bring up very particularly that he didn't convince him in any of the ways that other people might have done. He did it with I bring your device here saying I need it to be fixed. You tell me to leave. That's fine. I leave it here because that's my proof to you that the time travel is real.
Right.
And that's effectively my guarantee that you'll actually do what I want. Not because I actually asked you to, but because then I left something there that will let you come to that conclusion yourself.
Sure.
Right? Because if you're trying to get someone to do something, you can't be super overt about it because it's still...
Right. He closed the loop.
Yeah.
He brought the thing back to where it was.
Sure.
So, yeah, the thing is a future version of the thing that's already there.
Right. And so he can clearly tell that by looking at it. And this is this crazy device that I have been working on. So clearly no one else did this. And, here it is.
Right. So he proved it.
Right.
So...
And so what I'm guessing is going to happen is that Jonas is going to come back like a couple weeks later, or something, or like a month later. He's going to time travel back to the same dude and be like,
so you believe me now?
Hey, so I'm back. You believe me now? Did you fix my thing yet?
Yeah.
Like,
right. But we don't need to see that. I'm just basically saying that if we have in this... Oh, man, this
basically,
hurts.
I think that kind of went the way that Jonas was hoping it would go.
Okay. Gotcha. With their conversation being about whether things have any beginning or end at this point because of the existence of a temporal loop through the wormhole here, there should be no way then, theoretically, to there should be no way, theoretically, to actually stop this. The only way that you could theoretically stop this is if, I don't know, you brought a wormhole to another wormhole. And I'm guessing that's what he's doing, is he's trying to then activate the device inside the caves.
He's trying to pull a Star Trek classic and reverse the polarity.
Oh, right. But even then, that doesn't, you don't know what that's going to do.
Right.
Like, if anything, the part that's maybe...
Oh, yeah, he's just going to set off a time bomb and hope for the best.
Right. Yeah. So it's just Are we following actually more like Dark Jonas in that he's actually, like, bad? And...
Nah, I think
because...
At worst... future Jonas is misguided and is out of his depth.
And needs younger Jonas to basically save him or something.
Or something, right?
Yeah.
It's a, hey, I'm one man trying to do this. There's 3 different points in time minimum that we're working with right now. And I don't have easy access to making sure that my enemies that are doing this, I don't know where they're going to be or when they're going to be or whatever, right? And so, yeah, if you have people in the different, like, pockets of time that are helping you out, that would be great, like that would really...
Yeah, but that's kind of what, at least it feels like it. That's what it feels like, at the very least, Tronta and Peter is even if they're not helping Jonas, they're helping a time traveler.
Sure.
They're doing something with a time traveler.
They are aware to a degree.
Well, not just that, they went to the bunker together.
Right,
when
the time shit was happening. Yeah.
So they're like, it's meeting time.
Right.
We need to go and
unless they just
be
have
a part of our secret society.
Unless they just have a really fun book club, like, like, yeah, that's...
Oh, man. But yeah, the other thing I think the conversation foreshadows specifically is that because this is a story about family drama, basically, in its most simple form, that's what it is. The primary way that the conversation seems to be foreshadowing more family drama is basically the who's when and with who.
Right.
And that's terrifying. Because to me, it reminds me of, I don't remember what story this was, but it was someone that saved the Titanic, basically, right?
Okay, wasn't that
Doctor Who or something?
No, that was Supernatural.
It was Supernatural, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And they end up basically then releasing tens of millions of more people into the world.
Right.
Because all of their children then actually, their lines continue.
Exactly. So in a time travel show, if someone shows up and they start an affair that ruins a marriage, that's the chemical warfare shit being brought in. Like that's
exactly.
You know, you don't even need to kill the kid, just stop him from being conceived, you know, right?
No. Because I'm operating right now and nothing can be changed. I'm going now into this side of things here.
Okay.
Because Jonas is asking the question. He's from the future. If he's asking the question from the future, what he's basically saying is, I don't know how to change it. I think this device could do it. Why does he need the device?
Well, he needs the device to stop the time travel from happening.
Because he can't fix it.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
No, I think
that even if he thinks he can fix it, there's too many things spider webbing out that it's out of his hands. He can't do anything about it.
So here's my perspective on it. Right. If I was in future Jonas's position. Right. You have a pond, and the pond is right now rippling in its own little way.
Yeah.
Yes, theoretically you can change the pond. Cool. But when you do, that creates more ripples. And the ripples, because of the wormhole and things like that, it can get out of hand very quickly. You know,
you could say it's already out of hand.
You play the video game and it gets into a Stack Overflow. You don't want that, right? So it's I need to do as little as possible. But ideally, it's also I need to make sure in order to succeed at this, that the other people that are actively mucking with things stop doing that.
Yeah,
because otherwise, even if I do things, they could undo it. And then that just makes the whole thing more chaotic, and you don't want that.
Well, that's my point, is that he's, at the very least, tried to do that. We know, at the very least, based on the way that he's... just in the way his character is portrayed, bro has been through shit.
Oh, yeah,
he is
absolutely.
trying his best, and he's not giving up. But he looks like he's a bad day away from giving up.
Okay.
Like, personally.
That's not the vibe I got as much. The vibe that I got was more of a thing of, I need to basically, I'm on a solo mission right now. And so I'll have my own ideas of how to go about doing things, but that doesn't mean that they're necessarily good ideas.
Yeah.
I need to have someone that I can have as a soundboard and an advisor, without also fundamentally mucking up the timeline by telling someone I'm the time travel, all this stuff. Here, help me out.
Gotcha. You know. This is why, again, I don't follow this line here, because if you come with a broken time machine, you're a really bad time traveler. Because if you know somebody that can fix it, you should never have approached. I mean, obviously, our perspective in the story is with limited stuff, and we're going to get more over time.
Yeah.
But my thing is that's why is it not just fixed? Meaning that maybe he won't fix it, or you won't get your hands ever again on the...
Sure. To say nothing of the fact that it's really weird that he got introduced by exiting the caves, and the caves are where we have a fixed set time, portal, right, that he could also theoretically use. So how this thing got broken... I don't know, maybe in some conflict with Noah or something like that, because also the thing that he's saying he's going to use this for is to stop the time travel from happening anymore.
Right. Which, to me, means that he then does not know how to fix things with just using the caves. The caves are not enough. He needs to use...
Right. Well, and that's why I think because again, the way that it would be enough is then you do the things that you need to do with the caves and then stop it.
But you're frustrating me, because if he stops it, then all the stuff that has ever been done with time travel goes away.
Correct.
So that
and he's trying to get things back to the way they were originally, which would do it then.
No, because that's
because then time travel never happened.
No, because this is what's so frustrating when you're talking about when things were originally and versus like anything like that. Your only memory you'd have is of I was born in what? Jonas is probably 16, 15 in 2019, so he's born in 2004, 2005, or 2006, or 2003, or whatever. Yeah. The way things were already at the behest of time travel stuff, potentially.
Right. So it's definitely a short-sighted fix.
No, it's why he then goes to the I'm going to use the time travel device, is that he then went through the short-sighted thing.
Okay.
He actually did all that. That's why he's a character from the future, is he went and spent years trying to change things. We have all these things that are potentially unexplained right now because of either his involvement or butterfly effect stuff. That then he then goes to the very source, what he believes would be the end-all be-all of this, and is like, I need to be able to press a button and stop because things are so bad,
and I think
so bad that I cannot just keep time traveling to change it.
Right, and I think so. Okay, I think I have a potential explanation for this. It's not about whether or not you are actually capable of changing the past with time travel. It's whether or not you can do it in any kind of precise manner, especially when you have someone who's actively working against you. Because while you're time traveling to fix things, they are also time traveling to fix things. And so then the more you can work to undo things, and that's great, but they're also getting things more off the path that you're wanting it to be on while you're doing it. You're trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom.
I think you're thinking too much of like, I need to do something now so that the future is going to be better. So I need to do something now so that this is going to be better. Things are bad.
Yeah,
it's
100%.
It's from his perspective, it's too late.
Yeah, he's in the closed loop. Yeah.
Well, yeah, everybody's
right.
So I'm just trying to say that
he's trying to fix things by injecting stuff into the closed loop.
And it's not working.
Well, it just keeps flowing in the closed loop, so
right. So I think that's a pretty strong bit of evidence that it's a not changeable setup here, and he's just trying to blow it all up. He's trying to be like, I'm done. I can't do this here. Which to me is basically saying, I need to jump universes. I need to create a full, actual, complete. I'm abandoning this timeline entirely, but I can't do that if the portal, the thing is there. So I need to
get rid of it.
But you can't drop a bomb on it. You can't just do that. So he's hoping, he's believing basically that if he had this time machine, which
he'll drop a MacGuffin time bomb on it, better than a regular bomb. Yeah.
Right, which he has no basis for knowing.
Of course not. Yeah. No, he's desperate at this point because everything else he's done has failed. And I don't think it's because you can't change the past. It's just that you're standing in a moving river.
I don't understand how you can come to this conclusion, but if I run with it, what you're basically saying is that he then goes into the future and he sees things that he's like, that had to be evidence of another time traveler.
Sure.
Which he would know how.
Well, if you go into the hospital and the time portal thing has a poster of it on the wall, that would be one.
Well, okay, so you're saying that it's from
at the very least, the portal had poured concrete and cement and or carved stone and stuff.
No. Let's go with this. If Jonas does not believe he's the only time traveler, right? The way he would actually find out about this the most is he would find something that's evidence of the time travel from a time before he's been to. That's the only way that he would know for sure that there's another time travel.
Okay, yeah.
Then
it couldn't have come from my own butterfly effect. It had to be someone else.
It had to be somebody else's butterfly effect.
Yep.
Which, if we then go with that, then from his perspective, he could believe things could potentially be changed, and thus he asks the question to the physicist, the guy who's wrote the book, the guy who did all this, and it's probably you could potentially know more than what I know, but the way he did it felt more like he was just like, no, I just need you to do what I want. Like you're saying, he doesn't actually believe.
Yeah, because that is another possibility. Anything. The question about whether or not do you think time can be changed, right, or the past can be changed, and the guy is the one that says no.
Yeah, he's basically like no. And every scientist will tell you no.
Well, but most importantly, this is the guy who is the not time traveler that doesn't know he's talking to a time traveler. That in my mind
invents a time machine, though.
You're right. That in my mind is one of the best precursors you could have to the, hey, by the way, The reason I'm asking about whether or not time could be changed is because, I'm from the future, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do. You know, and so, and I'll leave this here with you.
Right.
And it's the thought of the question rather than
and it confirms his suspicion that he met someone from the future in his past, and thus he ended up working on this thing to potentially be like, wait, like, and maybe he had something as a kid that was even like instilled in him a little bit from another time traveler or what have you, or just whatever. But he had enough wherewithal to end up inventing something that, again, we don't know is a time machine, but Jonas believes it is. And we are in the full messed up, no way to track butterfly effect spillover now. I suspect that by the time this season ends, we will see how completely screwed we are by either how many people know about the time travel, because either Jonas just starts telling people, which is we're like probably this close from that, and going full like time travel Goonies squad.
And are you talking regular Jonas or future Jonas?
Regular Jonas.
Yeah, right, because he knows about it, and he did the smart thing of being like, okay, well, a person from another time told me to not do anything, so I'm going to go home and not do anything, you know, and forget about the fact that, like, you know, just not mess with it.
Yeah. But also potentially what's going on in 2052. Like, what's going on then that has, you know, future Jonas like freaking out, basically.
Yep.
This was a lot, and this was pardon my frustration, like, this is a very tough episode for me to grapple with, because I felt like they were trying to say in a very strict way, from the like meta, like world building, and the character who is the time travel right now, the HG guy, basically, in that, no, it can't be changed. Which then takes all the stuff that I've got right now and gone, oh, it is a loop. We are screwed. There is no way out. This is the point, and the themes of the show all seemed to like coalesce into this. The only way out is you hope. You find the light in the dark. You find the something that will maybe be
you get the device
guide
to stop
out
it
of the
because,
labyrinth.
Right,
but there is no way out right now. As we are right now, there is no way you can change things. There is so it's frustrating for me trying to grapple with future and past and all this other stuff as if it has any bearing or influence on things, especially after we had an attempted murder here. And
right,
it's like
that turns out to be the thing that was the injury that he had this whole time.
Which then might have also then begot the person that could end up being used to kidnap kids
and you know,
potentially deposit them across time.
With the whole time loop thing, there are some important things that we can just keep in mind. One, it is not a full loop. Using like a funnels of water kind of a thing, not everything from the future ends up getting sent back to the past, right? It's just that things are able to go back to the past. Because
sorry.
Because you know, it's only the things that actually go through the deal, right?
Right.
Two, the fact that this story is being, like, if you have a show that's about time travel, it's really hard to sell the time travel can't change anything, because then what's the story about?
Well, the story is then you unveiling the picture.
Sure.
No, you can absolutely have a story where you have things not change. And in a lot of ways, this is where I'm frustrated, is that I'm like, oh, I was making fun of that kind of way of looking at things, because, like, you know, if you've ever watched Lost, you know how the what happened stuff can get all wobbly and stuff. But this show feels like they're like, no, we're actually going to do that kind of story. You're going to see the dark fate of this town, basically. You're going to see the picture slowly become unveiled, rather than the way in which their choices change anything, but the way in which their choices end up dooming their future, end up like forcing them into this bad, basically, end specifically. And Jonas is the harbinger going, it's fucked, it's over, it's done. We have to change anything. And he's the doomed protagonist in that he's like, I only made it worse, or I could do nothing.
Sure.
And then Jonas is the one that he's helping with the like, oh, I need to be able to get myself onto this path or what have you. So I'm going to maybe sneak in some other things along the way that I already gave my past self, but I'm going to make it, I'm going to see if I can give him a little bit more confidence or a little bit more help, or maybe, you know, keep him away from these people or towards these people. Or
my biggest thought for the like in favor of the things can't be changed kind of argument is that maybe it's that when we talk about changing things, that is with our own limited temporal perspective.
Yes.
And so the idea of changing things, that's not really the right word or concept.
It's not.
Because you're doing this anyways, right? Yeah, exactly. Right. But again, you know, possible to have recursion, not guaranteed recursion on everything. You know, which is a big deal. Right. So, you know.
We got to watch these faster together because we have these discussions that are like 2 hours, and now I'm like, bro, if we just watch these more frequently, like,
no, I know, yeah,
like we'd not have to feel like we need to catch up on like the why the universe spins the way it does, you know,
or maybe the there's a whole lot of shit we don't know and cool, tantalizing. What does this mean? That gets introduced in each episode. And we could speculate on what everything is, or we could just watch the next episode and see what the show tells us, you know?
Yeah, and that's where y'all are at. So thanks for watching this crazy discussion. Yeah, I made it go way too long. I'm a bit upset at myself because I was struggling so hard to like grapple with this because I'm trying to justify, you know, does our choice in this story, in this world, have any like actual stuff there? So I'm racking my brain for evidence that it could.
Yeah.
I'm also grappling with the, oh, no, your choice doesn't have any impact. Then I'm grappling with the, does that? And then I'm like, I'm finding all these loops. I'm finding all these ways in which it's the, oh, it could have been like intentional. Was that accidental?
Right.
So then it's, yes, I'm then Jonas coming to the guy being like, is it God? Is it coincidence? Is it fate? Is there any kind of sense to it all?
Well, and I wouldn't feel too bad about the whole discussion going so long thing, because let's be real. The fun, one of the biggest points of fun of time travel stories is to talk about it, is to theorize, is to go all crazy with it and wait, how does this work? What is it? When is the who to the how and the what, you know, and what's the deal with the jacket, you know?
And then there's probably the thing where it's like, yeah, because you spent so much time talking about that, you missed the really obvious thing that was like, blah, blah, staring at you right in the face the whole episode.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But yeah.
Wild stuff.
Y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about other shows in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel. See if any of that interests you. We'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.